Welcome to a Just One More Fix actual play. This is James. With us in this game is Lacey, Kurt, Carrie, and Lee.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
You can find us online at justonemorefix.com or on Twitter at justmoorefix. If you like us, head over to Apple Podcasts or to Google Play and give us a rating and a comment. In this actual play, we're going to play 10 Candles. And now, it's time to get our gaming fix. So today we are playing 10 Candles from Stephen Dewey with, I will be running the game, James. I suppose I should say who I am, although you should probably know my voice by now. And playing in it will be Lacey, Kurt, Carrie, and Lee.
Hey.
So
We're going to win.
For those of you that don't know, I'm just going to read the back of the 10 Candles book. These things are true. The world is dark, and we are alive. 10 days ago, the world went dark. 5 days ago, they came. Keep moving. Don't lose hope. And stay in the light. 10 Candles is a tragic horror tabletop storytelling game played by the light of 10 tea candles. When only one candle remains, the game enters the final scene in which all of the characters will meet their end. Designed for a one-shot, zero prep sessions for Game Master and 2 to 5 players.
Wait, we're gonna die?
Yes.
Wait a minute.
So this is, as it said, a tragic horror game. So the standard setting for 10 Candles is in the middle of a sunless apocalypse. The sky is darkened and turned against you. Satellites have gone quiet, leaving you without solar power, cell phones, internet, GPS, and many other luxuries that the world has grown accustomed to. Power grids have failed on a global scale against the demand, and the world has been left in darkness. And now they have come. It is uncertain what they are, but they are out there in the dark, and they're coming for you. 10 Candles is a tragic horror rather than a survival horror. Despite the similarities in feel and theme, one important reason, in a survival horror game, there's a chance that you might make it through, a hope that you might beat the odds and win. 10 Candles is not a game where you can win. It's not about whether the characters fall to the darkness or emerge as survivors. There are no survivors, not here. Everyone will die in the final scene, without question or quarrel. Instead, it provides a stage upon which we will act out the final hours of the lives of your characters and who are destined to die. You will see them pushed to the very brink of terror, madness, and sorrow. It is a game about loss, but it is also a game about hope. Through it all, you must remember this. Though you know your characters will die, you must have hope that they will survive. That hope will live on, even in the end. But hope can be lost to those who guard it and push to the edge. It is in those moments that the darkness around becomes the darkness within. And it is then when they have truly won. So you guys kind of get the basic premise.
We're doomed, but we have to kind of make like we're not.
Basically, yeah. So
I'm gonna live.
It's like a blueberry. Oh, like heck.
It's a.
You're going down. I'm gonna
You're
live.
done in scene one, friend.
No.
I'm gonna live.
It's sort of like a fiasco style game in which we are all cooperative storytelling. To move this along to increase drama and through the conclusion. We will start off by making your guys' characters. So, I need you to take 2 of your index cards.
Okay.
And on the top left-hand corner...
It's instructive to say that there are 5 index cards and a Sharpie marker.
Correct. So, on the top left corner of one, I need you to write virtue. And on the top corner of the other one, I need you to write vice. So, these are traits. And... I'm gonna have you guys in like the bottom right hand corner draw a little box with one pip in it, like a 1 on a die.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So what these do is when you use these, they allow you to re-roll any dice that come up ones. Okay. The reason that's important is when you roll dice, any ones you roll are pulled out of the game until the scene ends. Okay.
Okay.
So yes, I've got it's all taken care of.
Oh. Okay.
So we'll get there. And I'll remind you of these rules as we go along when it comes to you guys to roll, because there's not a whole lot of rolling that happens. You have a virtue and a vice in front of you there. You're going to choose a virtue and a vice, and when you choose a virtue, a virtue should solve more problems than it creates, and a vice should create more problems than they solve.
Are we talking like a one-word, 7 deadly sins, 4 cardinal virtues?
You could use those if you want. However, you can use Some examples here for virtues is lucky, resourceful, watchful, merciful, daring, committed, handsome. Streetwise, strong. It needs, the more general it is, the better, because it will allow you to use it in more situations. Okay? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Now, as far as vice goes, it's the same exact thing, but the examples are afraid, greedy, regretful, addictive, naive, controlling, worrisome, compulsive, claustrophobic.
Doesn't matter where on the card we write.
Just write it in the middle, write it big, because it's going to be kind of dark, so you can be able to see it. Lacey, what did you write?
For virtue, I wrote resilient, and for vice, I wrote worried.
Kurt?
Hope and fear. Classic human combination.
Very good. Carrie?
For virtue, I put loved, and for vice, I put regretful.
And Lee?
I have insightful as a virtue and wrathful for a vice.
Ooh.
Very good.
Nice combination.
So now I need you... Okay, so everybody take your virtue, and you're going to pass your virtue to the right.
No.
What?
And you will take your vice and pass your vice to the left.
Virtue goes to the right, vice goes to the left.
Hope
Correct.
and wrathful.
So these are the virtues and vices for your guys' characters, okay?
Man.
So those are your traits. So now... Oh, I forgot. Lee, will you light 3 candles?
Nothing wrong with that.
Loved and worried.
Nothing wrong with that. Hey.
Oh, I ended up with insightful.
Excellent.
Good luck role-playing that.
Now, it is important
Lee,
to know
don't break the
I like it.
candles.
that when the candles go out, the game ends, okay? Now,
So you
if
better
a,
make sure you light them right, because if they go out in the first 10 seconds, you're hosed.
if a candle goes out as the course of play, there are no relighting of the candles.
What?
getting a different lighter.
He's already failed.
So we have a technological problem straight off. You know, you got to press the button.
I was pushing the button.
His vice is inept.
So we are playing The Last Boat. The island resort has turned into a nightmare. The beach sand is turned so thick with blood that not even the tide can wash it away. There aren't many folks left, not since they came. Just a group of you. And from the crackled interference on the radio, it sounds like one other group holed up in the far end of the island at another resort. Maybe some locals further inland too, who knows? You sent out a call after call for rescue, but only recently did you finally hear a reply. It was all crackle and static, but you were able to make out something about the Coast Guard and the Northern Island. The reef's two taxing on boats here, so you'll have to make your way from there. Of course, that means finding a boat or swimming a quarter mile in ocean water, not to mention navigating the northern tip of the island and hoping folks there hold up there haven't already taken the last boat. The lights are flickering low, and it's time to move. So some areas of note that we will encounter just so you guys kind of know how the story goes. The island, the resorts, open water, the northern island, and a boat. Goal is to travel to the distant resort and take a boat to the northern island. Okay? And that's the setup for the scenario. Okay?
Okay, what? The resort is on the island that we're on?
So you are on an island, and it's like a resort island, okay?
Okay.
And you're at a resort, okay? But there's another resort on the northern side of the island, and there are presumably, hopefully, boats there, and the goal is to travel in those boats to the next island, because you've heard static from the Coast Guard. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So step 3, you guys are going to take one of your cards, and you're going to make a table tent out of it? No, the ones you haven't written on.
No.
It's fine. And you're going to basically
Longitudinally or
which it's probably easier the other way because you can fit more on it. And on the front of it, you're going to write your name, and then you need to come up with a look and a concept.
a look? You mean like? How do you mean?
Just how you look.
Oh, okay.
Like literally how you look. So you need a name and then a concept and a look. So just keep in mind that we're probably somewhere down in the Keys or at a resort island, and who might or might not be there.
I've written Bob, a typical guy.
I am Ellen, a portly grandmother.
I'm Dylan, the poor former employee.
Oh,
Nice.
are you disgruntled?
Uh-huh.
Right on.
Yeah.
So you're just a guy?
Dylan, Bob, a guy. Probably an accountant for a nameless firm or corporation on vacation.
How does Bob look?
Typical.
He's completely forgettable in every way.
The sort of person you'd pass by on the street and not give a second thought to.
Okay.
Probably an off blue shirt with a Probably a Hawaiian shirt with nondescript khaki pants.
Right on.
That's right.
So you said
Birkenstocks.
Ellen is an elderly grandmother?
Portly grandmother.
Okay.
I didn't say elderly.
Fair enough.
Catherine or Cat, and I have short brown hair. I'm very slender, not very curvy. My concept is that I am a college dropout who realized she could make more money working at an island resort and have a better life. And who knows, maybe find someone to marry and give her a better life anyway. And I put lots of dollar signs because I'll pretty much do anything for a tip.
Sounds good. And we already got you, Lee, right?
Sandy hair, dusty jeans, black t-shirt.
Okay, so we have Dylan, Kat, Bob, and Ellen. Okay. Carrie, why don't you go ahead and light 3 candles for me? Okay, so the next step is we're going to write your guys' moments, okay?
Moments.
Now, a moment is moments detail personal scenes or events that will be played out for each character at some point during the session. They should be significant moments, and they should give your character an opportunity to find hope. So you might find hope in an act of heroism, in solving a mystery about them, about the sunless sky, completing a goal, or reaching an area or a safe haven, or some other kind of accomplishment. So at the top of your card, you need to write, I will find hope, and then you need to write your moment. So some examples are, in a moment of prayer at a quiet church, when one of them lies dead at my feet, when the truth of the sky is revealed to me, when I find my sister dead or alive, in the contents of my stash back home, or when the fallout shelter's door closes.
Question.
Yes.
Are we the only survivors currently, or are there other people?
There is a potential to meet other people in the game, but right now when the game starts off, it will be just be the 4 of you. Now, everyone will know each other's moments because as the game progresses, it's kind of to try to steer things to where you could have them happen. And you might keep in mind the areas that I mentioned that the game will for sure be progressing through is the inland, the resorts, open water, the northern island, and the boat. Yeah, once everybody's done, we'll read them. So, Kurt or Lee, let's start with you.
I will find hope in animal life.
I will find hope when I realize that I want to go home and see my family.
My virtue was loved, so I wrote down that I will find hope when I find a last love.
I will find hope when I distract the others while my grandson runs to the northern island.
Distract others?
Distract the others, yeah.
Or do you, like as in them?
Or
others, because there's other.
Make an opportunity.
Them.
Right? That's
Okay. Very good. Okay, so
Like in the volcanic.
Kurt, or I guess either you or Lacey, whichever is easier, will you light those 3 candles for me? Okay, so we have 9 candles lit, and we're going to do brinks now. Okay, so now we are going to do brinks. So at this point, everyone should have a good idea of the characters at the table, who they are, and why they are there, and what's going on. And maybe even their traits in the future moments, okay? The next piece of character creation, every player, including me, you should have 1 last index card, okay? And on this index card, we're going to do brinks, okay? At the top of the card, except for you, Lee, you need to write, I have seen you. Lee, you get to write, I have seen them. Yes, because of where you're sitting. What is going to happen now is writing a brink is much like writing a trait. However, instead of describing who the character is, the brinks are describing what the character is capable of. Rather than representing who they are, brinks are hidden traits that show what the character may become when they are pushed to the edge of fear, hopelessness, and desperation. When everything else has been burned away, the character's brink is their last dark refuge. Whether a character will embrace their brink or eschew its temptations and refuse to give up hope is each player's decision to make. But in the shadows of the apocalypse, even the strong may give into the darkness before inevitably realizing what they have become, and more importantly, what they have sacrificed. So you're writing the person to your left's brink, so only you and the person will know what it is. And it is something that you have seen them do. So it's their darker self, basically. So they should also be kind of broad in a way. Their examples are, I have seen you kill, abandon, rage, lie, hide, cry, sacrifice, betray, freeze, promise, collapse, fight, and run. Okay. And then you need to write a brief description of whatever that is. Okay. So something broad, and then how you saw them do it. Don't tell anyone though, because these are only for you and the person you're making them for to know. It could be any of those. Now, Lee.
But it's just 1 word?
You're going to write 1 word to kind of encompass it.
1 word?
No, hang on.
Oh.
You're going to write 1 word to encompass it, and then a brief description of what it is. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. Now, Lee, because of where you sit, you are going, because we are making these for the person to our left, you get to establish, you have an important role because you get to establish something about them. So you have seen them. Now, the important thing to note is you cannot establish a weakness. The only weakness they have is the light. You can only establish a strength, an identity. So you could see them move like shadows, shapeshift in front of you, howl at the pale moon, consume the dead, possess the living. Something.
Consume the dead.
Dang.
So you have the unique position to establish a truth about them, and only you will know this, and obviously me. And you're free to share these as the game goes out, but brinks are supposed to be something you hide. Now me, I have on my card, they have seen you. So they have seen you do something, and this is your brink.
Me, specifically?
Yes.
Oh.
Because you're sitting to the left of the GM?
Correct.
Is that the... Okay.
Do we share this with the...
So you're going to give it to them, and you will know what their brink is because you've seen them do that.
I'm not sure if this qualifies as good or not. Probably not.
Do you need to see these things?
No.
Acting in that fact.
I wish I knew what everybody else's was.
It is kind of interesting.
Oh, I like that one.
One you picked doesn't work?
It's not really a good thing.
Oh.
It could be, in the right circumstances.
Okay. So now all of our characters have been made, and everyone has their brinks. Now, you are going to arrange your cards however you want, okay? Brink always goes face down on the bottom, and then you will arrange the other cards from top to bottom however you want. Now, whatever is on top is what you have access to use in terms of accessing the system, okay? So I told you that your traits, your virtue and your vice, if you can invoke them in the situation and kind of find a way to narrate them in, you get to reroll all the ones. Now your moment...
So this is a D6 system,
yes,
or how does this work?
Just D6s. Just D6s. Your moment, when you role play your moment and go through that scene, you will roll the dice. If you succeed, then you will get a hope die, which is a different color from all the other die, and it does not go away if you roll a 1. Okay, and you keep it throughout the entire game.
I understand. What constitutes a success?
When you roll the dice, if you get any 6s, it's a success. Just one, whether it's 1
Okay.
or 12, okay?
Do you
Now,
get to rearrange the cards at any point?
once you make your stack, that is your stack. Now, to start off with, we need to make sure that at least one person has their moment on top. Carrie, you have your moment on top. So, more than one can, it's fine, but you just have to keep in mind, you know, the hope dice make a pretty significant difference in the game, so you want to have the ability to gain access to them, okay? So you've arranged the stacks. Everyone needs to see whatever they have in your pockets, and that's what you have to start the game with in terms of equipment.
I don't have anything in my pocket.
There you go.
You've taken everything from me.
Oh, I didn't even
Actually,
realize we
no.
did that.
Lacey took everything from me
That's
I
not me.
ever had.
I have a Sharpie.
Literally in our pockets?
Yes, literally in your pockets.
Oh, I was going to say, I
have
was going to
nothing.
have the keys to the resort, but...
Nope.
I got a nickel.
I have a wine key.
Now, there are some things, other pieces to the game that we will progress through as we go, and I'll explain those as they go. The rules are very simple. But whenever there is a point where it's fine, you can have the thing. Whenever we have a point where a question, an action you take might have the possibility of failure or the outcome is unknown, then we will roll the dice, okay? There are 10 D6s that we will be using for this game. As the candles get blown out, the dice go away and come to me, okay? When we roll, if you roll a 6,
Typical man.
you succeed, or you gain narrative control and you don't fail. If you roll no 6s, we blow a candle out and the scene ends.
Oh,
heck.
my.
As the scene goes along, you guys will start the scene with as many dice as the candles that are lit.
Now, there's one candle not lit. Is that...
I will light that when we start.
Okay.
That way our game lasts just a little longer than
And-
more suspense.
And when the candles get blown out, those dice come to me, and I roll dice as well whenever you do something. If you roll no successes, the scene ends. If I roll more 6s than you, then I gain narrative control.
It's a heck of a thing.
If you roll more 6s, then you have narrative control. Now, keep in mind, this isn't success or failure for whether I get control or you do, because we're all just telling the story, and we're moving the story along towards the end that we all know is coming.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you lose dice also?
No. Also, when you roll the dice, any
If the
ones...
candle relights itself.
Yes, but that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
If you roll any ones, those ones come out of the pool.
Oh, shenanigans.
Until the scene is over. Once we start a new scene, then you get the full dice pool back, okay?
All right.
Now, here's my question.
Only sixes or successes?
Correct. Now, on the hope dice, that is one thing that is different. On the hope dice, they never go away on a 1. They will be a different color. You get those.
We've got black, white, and green.
No,
dice here.
these I'm going to ask you guys what you would prefer to have at the table, the black or the white, because you can see white
The
on...
white, I think it'll be easier.
The white on the-
No,
okay,
I mean
white.
the black.
Okay, the black?
White will be easier to
Okay.
see, I think, in the darkness.
Okay.
The pips.
We can switch out as we go along. So I'm going to light the final candle. Lee, will you shut that light off? Okay.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I have one final thing for us to
That's
do.
not okay.
It's so okay.
I have one final thing for us to do. I have a recording that you guys are going to make as your characters. This will be the thing that you say to leave behind as you guys begin to leave on your adventure. Okay? Make sense?
How
I
long
don't-
should it be?
However long you want it to be. It's going to be the recording that you leave behind as you go across. You go on this
I
adventure.
don't entirely understand. Okay.
We'll start on this end. Do you guys get it?
I got it. I'm good.
Okay.
I don't know what's out there, but it's getting closer. I think Nicholas probably made it. I distracted them, and he made a run for it. Now we're going to try and move, too. I'm so scared right now. I don't know what else to say. I guess I've had a good run. It's getting towards the end. Okay, it's time.
This can't be all there is. We're going to make it. We just have to get someplace where we can find help, and that's what we're going to need. So if you get this, then just stay put, and hopefully we'll be there within a day.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. I'm sorry I ever dropped out. I promise I'm gonna come back, and I have money set aside now, and I'll pay you back. And I didn't mean to do those things, and I love you, and I'm coming back. I made the decision. I'll be there. And tell Andy that I love her, and that I'm so happy she's had a baby, and I will hold him, okay? Love you guys. Bye.
Old women burn and rave at close of day. Wise women, though they know that their end is dark and right. Good men, the last men by, crying how bright their failed deeds might have been. Burn and rave at close of day. Rage is the dying of the light.
10 days ago, the skies went dark. It's like someone laid a wet blanket across the sky and blocked out the sun. The stars are dark. The sky is completely black. Cell phones have quit working. There's no power. And all you guys are certain of is that the light is the only thing that they fear. You guys are at a nice, posh resort on this island in the Caribbean climate. It's warm, humid. What do you guys do?
Okay, we know each other because we've been,
Been
here
10
together.
Yeah, here together, 10 days.
And
Lots of things have happened. There was rioting and looting on the island, but you guys have survived that unscathed. And I also suppose that your grandson is there. What's his name?
Nicholas.
all right, well, we need to move our way north. There's no right. That's where we're.
The boat. We heard the recording.
Yeah.
They've come to rescue us, and we know we're going to make it out of here.
All right, so we're gonna need some water. We're gonna need something to eat, and the sky is dark, but we know which way to follow for the coast, right? We're gonna follow the coast north. It's not gonna be a problem. We're gonna make it there. I'm a little
They have
worried.
that trail, the fun trail that leads you from one
yeah,
resort to
the
the other.
hiking trail. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be fine.
I have a map of
We
it.
just have to make it.
We were going to
north.
hike it tomorrow.
tomorrow.
You don't
tomorrow.
have a map of it.
Oh, I don't
No,
know.
but we know which way it goes.
You saw
right?
a map, maybe, but you don't actually have the map. The only things that you have
I don't
are what
know
is
what
here.
food we'd bring. We ate through all the Chex Mix already.
All right, so whatever's left.
Well, you
That's fine.
guys worked here, right? There must
I
be.
mean, you're
like,
here.
a
There's got to
got
be something, right? Like something like that.
I mean, this is
Hors
a big
d'oeuvres
resort.
or-
They have to
know
feed
what
lots
the
of people.
hoarders took. And with the heat, I mean, I don't trust it.
There has to be something. We should go look.
All right, so
Some
okay,
of the
I've got
trail guide
this.
said there's bananas off the path.
Okay,
There's a
I've got this
couple of,
pipe. No, seriously, we're gonna go and we'll look
vending
in the back of the
machines on
bar because they've always got like pretzels and stuff, right? I mean,
Ate
right?
Them
I mean,
all.
breaking
We've
into
been
them
here
would
for
be
10
noisy.
days.
No, but you
It
can't.
doesn't
It's
matter.
worth looking. You could always go look.
There's a couple of
let's-
vending
let's go
machines
look.
on the way. I don't know how they respond to noise, but it's going to take a bit to get in.
It's got to be safer in
Wait,
here
has
than it
this-
is out there.
Does the sun ever
Okay.
come up anymore?
No, it is dark.
Okay, so we'll take whatever candles we have, whatever And let's just go. Okay, standing here talking isn't going to do a damn thing.
Should some of us stay here and some of us go?
No, because...
No, I don't know that any
who
more
wants
boats
to
will
stand
come
alone
here.
in the dark? Do you want to stay here in the dark, lady?
No.
All right, come on. Let's go.
And the noise outside is so quiet. Maybe everyone's already evacuated.
All right, let's move north. The direction that we know is north. It's impossible to tell because there aren't any stars anymore, right? I mean, we can't see.
Correct. But, I mean, this
I've taken
resort-
the path many times.
this resort is on the beach, so the
We'll
sounds
just follow the shoreline. We'll just follow the shoreline north. We know which way it goes. We all went on that initial walk or whatever the heck it was a week ago.
the sounds of the ocean, you will know which direction is north from, because the resort is on the ocean.
Are they
Okay.
in the water? Things?
Just walk. No, just walk. Come on.
Addie needs me. Andy.
Who?
Andy.
Where the hell is he?
My sister.
She. Sorry. Where?
Home. I gotta make it home.
Okay, well, you know what? If we stand around here talking all day, or whatever the heck it is now, it's not going to happen, okay? So any moment the sun could come up, we don't know. Just start walking, okay? Because sitting here isn't doing any good whatsoever.
So where are these vending machines? You should give us a vague idea. That way, if we get separated, we know where we're going.
Dylan, right? That's your name?
Yeah.
Okay,
There aren't any along the path itself, but I mean, there's some at the bottom of the bottom of.
Okay, and there's
some
Kat. You work here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, right. So there's things down there.
I mean, you've sat here for the last 10 days. You should know I work here.
I know. I'm just okay. I haven't slept for a couple of days. Cut me a little slack. There's this lady here. You guys work here.
Ellen's sweet.
I'm a little disorientated, so
Thank you, Kat.
let's just go down there.
Okay, so you guys are going to head down the path of the vending machines?
I am. Yes.
Most of the stuff in the kitchen is probably either already raided or spoiled. Vending machines, I think, are our best bet. They're definitely preserved. Though it'll cause some noise to open them.
I got a pipe. I don't care. We're gonna open it. I'm starting to get munchy. It's been days.
I'm gonna
Okay.
grab something out of the room to smash open the vending machine with when we get there.
What are you grabbing?
Is there a cash drawer?
They all have a key. Maybe we could use one of the hangers
Do any
in
of these
the
keys-
room
Do you still have
to.
the key to the
Do you mean
cash?
like
Open
the
the
big
vending
metal
machine.
cash drawer thing?
Like when I ring in drinks and food? Is there like a cash drawer?
Like that big metal box under a cash register? Yes.
Can I open it?
I'm gonna bring that
And
big
just grab
bottle.
the cash? And use
Yes.
that instead of smashing the vending machine, we'll just take the cash.
That would be quieter.
Is the power's not on though?
No, there is no power.
There's a key under the drawer. There always is.
You just open the cash drawer.
You don't need power to open it. You just use the key.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying the cash you can't use in the vending
Yeah.
machine because
The
the vending machine is
has
electronic.
no power, so the vending
It
machine
has no
will not
power.
take
If
We'll
you have
just
the
smash it.
vending
I got a pipe.
machine key-
Okay, we're just gonna smash it.
Then
We're
we
gonna
can
take the
open it.
stuff. Don't overanalyze this. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I'm gonna
Is
take
anyone
the-
here hungry?
the
I know
toilet
I
paper
am.
Thing, the toilet paper thing, little stand. The toilet paper is
Okay. That's fair. That's the pipe he mentioned. So that you
Wait,
have.
yeah.
I'm going to take a hanger though, because if we can try and jimmy the lock on the vending
Why are
machine
you gonna
first,
waste
it
time
will be
with jimmying the
quieter.
lock?
It'll be
Who
quieter.
the heck cares at this point? What?
You find a coat hanger and you have your guys' pipe. You're going to head down to the vending machines now?
Solid pipe.
Yep.
I am. I don't care what they're doing.
So you guys walk outside and it is quiet. It is eerily quiet.
I'm going to stick to the path that I know that leads down to the shore because you can't see a thing.
First to the bottom of the stairs.
So you guys make slow time, but you make your way down to the end of the path and you feel the path, it changes from concrete to a dirt path. And you know at the edge of that concrete pad is where the vending machines are. I think it's going to be, we don't really know what's in the vending machines left, so that's going to be a roll. So
All right, roll it up.
who wants to make the roll to see if there's anything in the vending machines?
I'll let Ellen do it. That's fine.
I roll all of these.
Yes, you roll. There are 10 candles lit, so you will roll 10 dice. And see if you got any sixes.
Oh,
Two
heck yeah.
sixes.
Okay, do you have any ones?
I have one.
That one is going to go away unless you want to use your wrathful and bring it into the scene, in which case this one you will be able to re-roll it.
I don't feel like it's appropriate. I'm
Okay.
not that angry at the vending machine.
Sounds good.
I don't know.
So you get down there to
Give
the
me
end of
my
the path.
combos.
It is dark. There is no light. You guys made really slow time getting down here, and you arrive at the vending machines. What do you find when you get to the vending machines?
Ellen's wrath is
You-
reserved for vending machines.
Oh, Ellen,
Your money
you're
and
right.
don't give
Yeah,
her-
so
don't give her her
since you
Cheetos
got
in
more
return.
sixes than I did,
Okay.
6s means you succeed, and the scene doesn't end, but it also means you have narrative control now. So now you get to tell us about what happens at the vending machines, essentially.
So in the last week and a half, nobody has really bothered with the vending machines because they've either taken too much time or they didn't know that they were here to begin with. So they are stocked, but we're still going to have to figure out how to get inside.
Okay.
We're going to smash it with the pipe and take what's in there.
We should at least try to pick the lock
I think
first.
you should try to pick the lock.
Why?
In case they...
They're not going to.
Does anybody have any experience with this sort of thing?
I'm an accountant. I did
Sorry.
just smash it and take
I
it.
picked a lock before.
You're
Cat?
the one that suggested the hanger.
Okay, I'm
You
worried.
sure you don't
So
have
I'm
a
just going to
tie?
take the pipe and smash the dang glass while they're
No,
having
stop
a
it.
discussion.
Okay. I think it's going to be... clearly, you're going to be able to break the glass, but the consequences of breaking the glass and the amount of noise is kind of up in the air. So I think that's going to be a roll.
No. Don't worry, we'll be fine. It's all going to work out fine.
Because there are 10 candles, but one die was a 1 last year, right?
9 dice.
Oh, heck.
That is a lot of 5s.
If
So-
those had been 6s, this would be fantastic.
I see you have one
So
there.
I have 2 1s and a bunch of 5s and no successes.
Okay, so what is the
my
card?
life is bad.
You have what card on top? What is it?
It is worried.
So if you could find a way to bring worried into this situation, into this scene, you could burn it and re-roll those 2 1s and see what happens.
Oh, heck, I don't think that's much of a stretch considering it's the end of the world.
Okay, so describe for me how... Don't roll the dice yet, hang on. Describe for me how worried comes into this. I mean, it's pretty clear, but go ahead and narrate for me.
So in a world where the sun doesn't come up and the stars have faded to a cold, black, inky sky, I don't think that it's much of a stretch to say that individuals who are mortal are going to wonder what's happened, considering that it would take hundreds of millions of years for that light to stop coming. So something larger and more menacing and devastating than normal physics has occurred.
Okay.
And it's warped the entire nature of what we know to be reality.
Very good. So I need you to take that worried card,
Yes.
and you're going to light it on fire and set it in the bowl.
I think that's a fire hazard, but we're going to do... You're a licensed fireman, so we're...
Now re-roll your dice.
And I choke.
Okay. So you break the glass, and I need you to blow out a candle, Kurt.
Sorry, guys.
Not that one. Do an earlier one.
No, you know what? It's too bad.
Oh, God.
Okay. So now we enter a second phase of the game, and this is a part where we get to establish things that are true. Okay. We get to, starting with the active player, you will get to say something that is true, but it's only one thing, and we will go around the table, and you get one truth for every candle that is lit. However, the final truth is that we are alive. And when we get to that point, you will all say it together because you are still all, in fact, alive.
Doesn't the first one have to be...
So I will start, and then because Kurt is the active player, he will go next, and then it will go around, including me. So these things are true. It is dark.
And it is starting to get cold.
And he made too much noise.
And the hairs on the back of my neck stand up.
The glass breaks easily, and you are able to get the
Freaking
food,
pretzels.
snacks, and candy out of the vending machine.
Nothing is coming yet.
But there is an impending sense of doom.
I know a shortcut to the path.
There's a nearby deer.
And the final truth is,
And we are alive.
And we are alive.
And we are alive.
We are alive.
you're standing there, you realize you've made too much noise.
We need to get under cover.
It is eerily quiet. The shattering of the glass, time seems to slow down for a minute as you hear the initial shatter and the glass hits the sidewalk and scatters around and breaks into smaller and smaller pieces. You spook some wildlife in the area, and you mentioned there's a deer that begins to spook and run.
Damn it, Bob. We can't afford your rash actions. Pull it together.
What
I know the shortcut.
Listen, old lady. I don't want...
Grab your snacks.
I don't need your judgment right now.
I want to go. Let's take the shortcut.
Let's get the snacks first.
We got it.
All right, so north. North is the direction we have to go. We know the coast runs north. Keep moving.
So you gather the snacks.
Of course.
What are you putting them in?
My
Pockets.
A laundry bag.
laundry bags. That's
We're
a
close
great
to the
thing.
back of the facility. There's probably a laundry bag here.
Okay, so you're going to move to the back of the facility.
Grab the laundry bag, fill it up.
So this die remains mine now since there's only 9 candles lit.
Oh, dear.
Boom, boom, boom.
So you walk around to the back of the resort, and the backside is one of those big industrial style doors, and the door is closed, obviously, and it's one of those ones that automatically locks when it closes.
Well, then we don't need a laundry bag. Just go to the path.
We all have pockets.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys load your pockets full of snacks and candy bars. What do you do now?
Take the path.
Towards the beach.
Shortcut.
Yep.
Okay. So you start to walk down this path, and like I said, there had been riots and looting happening for the past, 10 days or so after the lights went out and people realized they weren't coming back on for some time. There was lots of looting and violence and riots. As you are walking, you walk past, and it's still so dark, and you can't really see anything. This path, it sounds like it kind of goes through, if it's a path, it goes through some kind of wooded area or something.
Okay.
Does
Yeah,
that
it's
make
beautiful.
seem fair?
It's like a little island nature
Okay.
path.
Very good. So as you guys enter this path, the lack of sound becomes even more deadened down as there's this blanket of vegetation that kind of covers everything. And you walk down this path and you feel things that as you're moving along that your feet are bumping into and you're kicking them. And you realize that there are the remains of people from the riots and looting here on the path.
Can we please hold hands so I don't have to look down anymore?
Yeah, so I'm going to reach out and grab whoever is closest.
Okay.
I'm
is-
going to start talking loudly. Not like
Who
very
is
loudly,
closest?
but louder.
I don't
know,
know who is
I'm really
closest
kind of
to Bob.
surprised. I didn't think the people that kind of went to this kind of place were very capable of writing.
No,
They
no, I
seem
need to know who's closest.
regularly
Who is
peaceful,
closest to Bob?
quiet.
Dylan, be quiet.
Okay.
Absolutely
so
not.
I reach out and grab around.
We already
because
smashed the
next
the
card
vending
in my
machine. What's it gonna matter?
pile
Others
makes
might
it
hear
relevant.
What is
They
it your
fear
moment?
the light.
Yes.
So long as we are in the light, we'll be fine.
What is your moment?
There is not
My
much
moment
light.
is I find a last love
Okay.
because that's my virtue. Loved. It was passed to me.
Okay. So you reach out and grab a hold of Kat, and you think that she is going to be your love and give you hope because she's here for a reason. Is that
I
fair
guess
to
so.
assume,
Apparently
or-
so. It was
It's-
passed
it's-
to me, so it
it's-
must be fate.
It's for you to define. So I mean,
Oh,
it's,
okay,
It's,
so-
it could be now, it could be later in the story. It's just however you want to experience this moment. If you want it to be her, it could be fortuitous that she is here with you, and she is the one.
All right, so I don't know. Maybe we're going to share a moment or something. I think that's how it's probably going to be because I'm wondering how long we are for this world.
Okay. So he reaches out and grabs a hold of you.
I want to hold hands anyway because I'm scared.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, with that, it seems reassuring as she grabs your hand back and squeezes tight. Clearly, she reciprocates the.
It's a thing. Okay.
So what needs to happen now is you are going to roll to see if this reassures you.
Dang.
So you're going to take those dice.
Really?
Yes. And you are going to roll them. And if you succeed and get a 6, your hope is restored, and you will get a hope die.
A single
and we will-
6.
Yes, a single 6.
Okay, statistically, this is a good thing, but as of the last roll, not so much. Ah, I have a 6.
Very good.
My goodness, only one. What is this? That's
So-
not probable.
You will burn your moment.
What does that mean?
You're going to burn it.
You're gonna burn it.
Oh, God, really?
Yes. You will burn all these cards.
But you get a bonus die for the rest.
And
Freaking tragic.
now this
So far, I'm setting everything on fire. I'm just want to.
you will get this hope die, which is this white one here. And anytime you roll, it won't go away. And 5s count as successes as well.
Oh yeah.
When we get to your brink, there is a potential to lose it. But until then, it is still there. Just so you guys know, if you experience your moment and you fail, the scene ends and we blow out a candle and we say things that are
terrible.
true. Bob, you reach out and grab hold of Kat, and she returns your embrace.
All right.
So the purpose to my talking loudly and frankly, as though there isn't anything wrong, is to try and give them a false sense of security about the normalcy of stepping on dead bodies as we're traversing a dark, scary forest and trying to get to the other side in one piece.
Okay.
So I have a feeling like we're going to share a moment, and I'm not sure exactly how that's going to play out. How does that play out?
Holding hands.
Okay.
You stand here. Dylan is talking loudly, and there is
I go on
this
path at least once a week.
blanket of silence that encompasses
There's always some major lovers,
this
especially bird watchers.
jungled, forested area.
Would you please quit talking?
Right over there.
Shut up.
Shut up, man.
Now they're more worried about the loudness of my voice.
I'm
Dylan,
going to
Dylan.
Okay.
Was
Shut your mouth, boy.
I'm sorry, did you roll any ones when you rolled that? You
live
are
another
going
day.
to smack Bob, and that seems like an uncertain outcome.
Dylan.
So go ahead, or Dylan, I'm sorry. And
She doesn't
so
smack you. She smacks Dylan.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm like, what the heck for? I'm just being
go ahead and
tender.
roll the dice for me.
That's my first die.
I did not get any sixes.
So I see 1-1 there. If you would like to invoke your trait
Yes,
there.
I am going to invoke Wrathful.
Okay.
This kid will not shut the hell up. He's going to get me and my grandson, more importantly, killed in this trek across the forest.
Very good. So go ahead and burn that trait for me.
Well, at least I'm not the one who's setting
And-
things on fire. I'm starting to feel
The
awkward.
dead bodies that we're stepping on in the dark.
Go ahead and re-roll that one die for me.
Then they are
I
quiet.
feel like we should be taking photos.
No.
Okay.
Does
So
it go over here?
well, the scene ends because you rolled no successes. So I need you to blow a candle out. These things are true. It is dark.
We have been noticed.
I've lost focus on the outer world.
We can see the end of the path.
But we have successfully traversed the field of dead bodies.
You said you have been noticed. Mm-hmm. I'm going to clarify that a little bit and say they have noticed you.
We've made it farther than anyone else.
But there's a cost.
But we are all alive.
We are alive.
We are alive.
We are alive.
You realize that you are at the end of the path and you have moved through this small area where there was some kind of a struggle or fight, and there are no more bodies around you. You realize at the end of the path that the additional humidity and wetness and that heaviness of the air has changed as you feel you have exited the forested area.
All right, so we're down at
At the beach.
the beach. Is that what we're hearing? We hear the surf? I mean, what's going on here?
Well, we shouldn't stay on the actual beach.
You
It would
are
be too easy for us to be seen.
yeah, you're at
What
the
the
edge
heck's
of
going on?
You're at the edge of this forested area, and you can't see the beach, but you can hear the waves crashing as you are closer to the beach. Now you're at that large raised area for where the tide comes in, as
Yeah,
the
high
beach
tide mark, right? Yeah.
is there, and you stand there and you feel the soft sand beneath your shoes.
Can we hear the waves crashing?
Yes, you can.
Waves
It's dark, right?
mean that
Yes,
there is
you
in fact
you
still
actually
a moon
have no
up there somewhere.
idea
beyond
of being able to see anything. Essentially, it's like you're in a cave.
Guys, I dated a guy that lived on this island, and he built a little hut right off the beach. It's where he used to bring girls, all kinds of them. I think we should wait it out there because I know they saw us. Just wait for a little bit until we feel like it's safe to go again.
I don't
It's
think
never
I'm ever
gonna be
feel like it's
safe.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to feel safe as long as I'm on this island.
I'm with Grandma. It's never going to be safe, but
We need to
I'm
keep
tired. I'm strung out, and I need to rest. And
We
Dylan
have
used to
keep
give
moving.
tours.
We need to keep moving.
no, we need to rest. I'm so tired. I'm
No,
not
we're-
going to. I don't know
we're
about the
going.
rest of you. My legs feel like they're going to collapse.
Dylan, you used to tour people, right?
Yeah, totally.
Can you lead us on the edge to the next safest place? Away
I
from
think
this
so.
area? Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
So where is it you're walking to?
we're going to continue north to the next.
To the next resort is the goal.
Isn't that north?
Yeah, well, yes, but
Like, how far away
she
is
said
it?
the next safest place.
Oh,
So
Like, is it within a day's travel, or is it farther away than
it's probably several hours walk. Or a couple hours, not several, I'm sorry, a couple
You
hours
seriously
walk.
think you can make it?
But you also
Yeah,
have,
totally.
you have
There's no
no,
such thing as day anymore. How do we know how far we're going?
you have
Just-
no ability to see anything.
It doesn't
At a
matter.
leisurely
We
walk,
need to
you can
sleep.
get there in
Come
3
on,
hours.
can't we just sleep for a couple of
No,
hours?
No.
we have to get there.
Why?
Pull it
What are we
together,
walking
Bob.
towards?
We're walking towards
Freedom.
my family.
Okay, all right.
And besides, this way you get to listen to the gentle crashing of the waves.
Dylan
You know
didn't
what?
get fired for his inability to get people places. He got fired for his inability to be
You know,
calming.
man, I can't. No.
I was not fired.
Right.
You know what fired me? The darkness fired me. But you know what? I can hear waves crashing. That means that there are still tides, and that means that beyond that inky darkness up there somewhere is still a moon. We're walking.
You
I
think
think
so?
that's the most comforting thing I've ever heard you say.
So you're going to walk towards up the beach, and where are you?
Towards the next resort.
Okay.
We're going to walk like close to the edge of the forest.
Okay. So as you walk,
Where the sand
it's,
is a little firmer.
it's quite a ways, and that seems like it is uncertain,
Okay.
the outcome. So go ahead and roll those for me.
Wait, there's only 8 candles.
You have 8 dice. I have 2 in my hand.
Make it check.
Not so much shaking.
Too late.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't look good.
No,
Here's
there's
a
a
couple
6.
ones, but I got 2 6s.
Okay, so the ones come out. Would you like to use your trait to re-roll these, or no?
Yeah, totally.
What is your trait that you're going to bring into this?
Regretful.
So how are you regretful as you
Here
lead these?
at the end of all things. Because it doesn't matter if there's a moon up there. It's certainly
You don't know
my end
that.
of all things. Our end of all things. It's been everybody else's here end of all things. I'm going to be reflecting as I walk.
Alrighty. I'm going to roll my 2 dice. I got 1 6.
What does that mean?
So you retain narrative control. Go ahead and re-roll your 2 1s. Because if they come up ones again, they still go away. Okay, so you keep all the dice and you retain narrative control. Burn your virtue there.
That's my vice.
I'm sorry, your vice. And tell us what happens as you make your way up the beach and are having this feeling of regret.
I'm being reflective. The calming sound of the ocean waves gently rushing up to the sandy shores put me in a reflective sort of mood, and I begin thinking back on all the things I should have done and didn't, all the things I shouldn't have done and did, and the walk passes rather quickly, all things considered.
So as you make your way up the beach, making it all the way there seems a little much for one roll, do you think, or no? Do you make a waypoint, or do you make it all the way there?
Oh, we make it all the way there.
Are you sure? We're not going to have to stop and
Whatever those
Take some
things
sleep?
are, they totally can't track us by sound. Sound
okay.
alone, and they can't hear us over the rushing waves if we're not talking. And
that's
since
true.
the waves are putting us all in a deep thoughts kind of mood, we lose track of them, they lose track of us. Other than the fact that it's dark, everything is pretty good.
So as you are walking along the beach, it's very slow going along the beach. It's hard enough as it is
Smell it.
because of you.
Well, do they have candles going on there? Are there other
No,
survivors at this other resort?
there are no other lights on at
What?
this resort that you see from here.
I can't believe all those people.
We made it the long journey up the beach, and it's obvious why. You may not be able to see anything, but you can hear the others.
What others?
So,
And this resort is infested with them.
Oh, no.
so as you
You can smell it.
are standing there, you realize that
Oh, good Lord.
there are, in fact,
It's happening.
swarming of the others as they
Well, that's not okay.
hear
That's not okay, really, on a fundamental level.
the chittering
Chittering? Did you say chittering?
of some sort of noise. And you cannot see
Shh, be quiet.
anything.
Quiet. They'll
And-
find you.
It is complete pitch black.
Oh,
And
God.
like I mentioned before, the sands here are wet with blood.
Shut up.
So you become aware that as I said at the beginning, the sand is wet with blood, and you can smell that metallic, dried blood kind of smell. It's mostly dried, but as the waves lap on the beach, it keeps things sort of perpetually moist.
God.
There are some strange sounds of things rubbing against each other in a rhythmic way.
Is it all coming from inside of the house, the resort?
No, the noise that you're hearing now is coming from where the water meets the ocean. As it occurs to you, it sounds like the sound of bodies being pushed together as they roll in the waves on the beach. And the sound that you heard, the chittering that they make, was coming from up above the sky.
Oh, good lord. It's like spiders.
Where do I know where the nearest building is here with a roof?
Yes, where you're standing, you know that you're close to the next resort. You mentioned earlier that you could smell the chlorine from their pools. So while you can't see anything and everything is inky blackness around you, you are aware that the pools and the backside of the resort that faces the ocean are nearby.
Let's go in the resort, Ellen. I know you said it's infested, but it sounds
No,
like
we
there
can't
is.
freaking go there.
If we go in,
No,
maybe
no,
we could
there's
come
not a
out on the other
chance.
side, and they have the little boats to the island. Maybe that's where the.
This is the worst idea I've heard all day.
On this side?
I don't see that.
I don't know. I thought you guys worked for the resort. Shouldn't you know where the boats are?
This is
It's
another
black.
another resort.
This is
It's dark. There hasn't been there hasn't been a sun for 2 days.
There's a beach where they swim and like a recreational with like volleyball nets and that kind of stuff and sunbathing. And there's another set of docks a little further down, where
How do you expect to see anything?
boats would be docked.
Is the dock on the other side of the building?
I don't know.
We should cut through the building. They're above us. I know they're above us.
Oh, a shortcut. That sounds like a great... No.
I trust Cat.
Fine. We'll go. Fine.
I think we should have followed the beach, but we should get into the water.
I can hear the bodies. I don't want to go into the bodies.
You can't go into the surf. Good lord, man. Do you know what's out there?
Yeah, I do, actually.
What are you... What?
There are lemon sharks. Lemon sharks are
What are you talking about?
waist deep. You're quiet. You'll be quiet enough that they won't hear you over the waves.
I can feel the people.
And we're going to be farther from the resort, which is always better.
They all have families, though.
No, not anymore. Stop thinking about it. Just, we have to find a way around.
But you can't see. You can't see when the waves are coming. They could catch you off guard, knock you over, pull you out to sea.
Better
And
than
then
going
what?
inside of a building?
We're only going in up to our waist, so we're not splashing around.
It's the ocean, man. Not a tiny little lake. You don't know how the waves might be affected by what's going on. They could be bigger than you remember. Anything could happen.
Bigger than you remember. It's
We can
ridiculous,
tell it's not
lady.
high tide.
How? How can you tell it's not high tide?
The sound.
You don't know... how can you know that?
Where the water is at the moment.
I don't want to go
It
into a
should be-
building.
If it were high tide, it would be 20 feet that way.
Listen, Kat, I don't want to go into a building. You don't know what's in there. They could be in there.
Yeah, I agree. We're totally not going into the building.
John. Well, it's quicker.
Pull yourself together.
I can
Let's not
hear
go into the
them
building.
above
Just,
us.
It'd be easier to
just
escape in the building.
close your eye. No, because you don't know
I
if
think
they're
it'd
in
be
there.
easier to get trapped in the building.
We are land creatures, not water creatures.
Yeah,
There's a
but
lot of open space here.
I don't think that they're water creatures
I'm
either.
running to the building right now. I'm going. Let's go.
No, I got your arm. I'm going to pull you to the ground. I'm going to pull you to the ground.
All right, so the outcome is uncertain here, I think it was fair to
Yes.
say. So she initiated the action.
Yes.
So, Carrie, go ahead and roll the 8 dice.
You're
and
not going to
see.
make it. I'm going to pull you to the ground to
I will
save your
roll my
life.
2.
Pull you to the ground to save your life, lady.
Wow.
2 6s.
What?
However, 4 1s.
Ha! See? You don't know what the heck you're doing.
I need to go home. I left them because they were stifling me, but I want to go home. I need to see Andy and her baby boy.
Those 4 1s are
I'm
going
your
to
card.
go away regardless because the traits are what allow you to roll the 1s.
Oh, dear.
But-
oh, dear.
I think the way you described that is fair to say that you are experiencing your moment. Hang
have
on
it
a
all,
second. So now we'll roll the moment here in a second, okay? So tell me what happens as you try to run away and Bob tries to hold on to you.
He tries to grab me down.
Yes,
and
to
with
save your
the
life.
strength of wanting to see my family, I
No.
grab his arm as tight as I can, and I literally drag him behind
Oh,
me.
dear.
Ellen is meeting me
this is a
because
bad
she
day for
knows
me.
that I am right. And Colin, or Dylan,
Bad
I'm
day.
sorry, Dylan,
I'm offended.
is offended,
Of course he is.
but he does not want to be left alone with that chittering. And
Also
I
true.
I can feel
Yeah,
the
them.
sand kicking up behind me where I
Very
was
good.
standing, and I don't know if it's the insects or Bob's feet kicking to stop me from dragging
More
him
in
into this building.
Birkenstocks, I'm sure.
But I am making it to that building.
Oh my
Expletive,
God, no.
Expletive.
Okay.
Expletive?
Yeah, that's me saying bad words.
Oh my god.
So with all the terror, you go running up
a lot of terror.
to the other resort and dragging Bob along behind you.
It's a bad day for me.
It's a little rough going. You fall several times because the footing is uneven. You're on the beach and you can't see.
I can feel them kicking up the sand.
But I'm not going to let go of her.
Eventually, you make it to where you feel the concrete of the area
not
surrounding the
gonna be
pool. Dylan, I imagine, has the feeling of being alone as everyone runs away. I
That's
imagine
not good.
overwhelms you and you follow behind.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Kat, you also mentioned that you're doing this because you feel your family, the strong desire to make it home to see your family. So go ahead and roll as you see if you experience and are able to restore hope.
Fives count, right?
Only sixes on this.
Only
Yeah,
six.
They're white dice.
Okay, so go ahead and burn your
I
moment.
didn't get a moment.
Your moment happens, but
Burn
it
it.
does not
Jeez.
restore hope
It's
in
just-
the way you had hoped it would.
So she's literally lighting it on fire and putting it on a bowl. in the
I
middle
left
of
them
the
for a reason, I guess.
You ran away towards the hotel, but perhaps you begin to doubt whether you will survive or not.
Yeah,
And-
that's a good doubt.
And with that, I need you to blow out a candle as well.
Oh, jeez.
Candy.
These things are true. It is dark.
I'm scared.
But we are in the building.
It is beginning to rain.
We're almost to the boat.
The terror is starting to sink in.
I smell food. And we are all
We are
still
alive.
Alive.
You guys have made it through the hotel, or the resort, and now you are standing at the edge of what seems to feel under your feet as the docks. You still have no sources of light. And
Search around for a flashlight or candles or something. It's killing me.
what do you do?
Okay, I'm going to search around for chem lights,
We cannot move towards the
candles,
Hey,
something.
hey, guys.
Where are you going
No, I
to go
know
search
this.
for lights at?
I know this dock. This
You
is
do?
the dock where they take tours out for the night lights to see the glowing algae.
Yeah?
They have extra lights inside the safety containers in
Let's
case
get
they
there.
get stranded.
I need some kind of light. I can't take this. It's dark all the time.
No, I know where these lights are, and Dylan has done these tours before, but I can find them. I'm sure of it.
I'm
So-
going with you then.
Sounds like you're going to go look in these chests of equipment for lights. Seems
Roll it up.
uncertain.
I have no sixes.
I have no sixes, so
I'm
if you
insightful.
succeed, you will gain narrative control.
I'm insightful. Can I reroll?
So you will burn your... How is it that you're insightful? That's kind of explanatory already, but...
I can understand where the layout of these chests are, and I know that the lights are always kept to the right because it's the most important that the people take with them.
Sounds good.
Can I only reroll my one?
You only get to reroll the one.
It's not good.
No, it's not a one anymore. That means we get to keep that die.
So
That's on fire, though.
you failed. Go ahead and blow out another candle.
Starting to think we might not make it out of this.
These things are true. It is dark.
I found the lights.
I'm hungry.
The lights will not last the entire trip.
I know how to sail this boat.
I'm growing desperate.
And we are all still alive.
We are
We are
all
alive.
still alive.
You are standing at the docks,
I found them.
and you have the lights. Are they... Like, what kind of light are they? Like the handheld ones with the big battery underneath and the light on top? Like, that shines out? Like the safety lights? Like, for on a boat?
There's two. There's that one, but there's also these little glow sticks that you can crack and pull around your boat.
Okay.
Chem lights.
Very good. So you have one battery light and a couple chem lights.
We won't break the chem lights yet.
Okay. So you have one source of light. As you turn the light on,
Oh my god, hold me.
All right.
you
Got
realize
my loved card.
the light comes on and it's blinding for a moment because it's been so dark for so long. And as you turn the light on, you realize that they are
That's
even
not okay.
closer to you than you thought.
That's not okay.
And you shine the light across as they begin to move quickly away from the light because they seem to not like it.
Oh my god,
And-
get rid of the light.
All you are able to catch a glimpse of is the slight bit of light reflecting off of a shiny black surface as they quickly move away from the light, as if they almost anticipate where the light is going to go, as if they can almost feel it. So you stand on the docks and you feel the rise and fall of the waves against the docks, and you hear the sound of the boats bumping against the docks.
They won't touch us. Do we take our own boat?
I can sail in this boat.
We need to get out of here.
We used to have a boat back when I was
Leave.
young.
Leave. Let's get out of here.
It's so dark, and I can't tell where we're going. But I can
leave.
sail the boat. I'll
But
need
you're not
everyone's
gonna
help.
know where
What
we're
if
going.
what if they're
Follow
blotting out
anywhere but
luminescence
here.
up against the...
We need a point of reference.
What if they're blotting out the sun, and what if we go far enough out from this island and we can see the sun again?
What if there's
sounds
glow in the
reasonable.
dark algae under the sea, and they can be afraid of that for a while? We will need something to steer by, which means that battery-powered light has to stay on the dock.
We're not leaving it behind. Are you insane?
He's right.
We're-
We need a frame of reference.
Why don't we crack one of the lights and leave it on the dock?
We won't see it very far.
No.
I don't want to leave the light behind.
It's got to be the bigger light, or we'll never make it.
So as you stand there on the docks having this discussion, you know that they are really close, and you begin to hear the sounds of some kind of commotion happening back towards the resort.
We need to get out of here.
You begin to hear that chittering sound
There's the word chittering again. God.
of them, and you hear people crying out back at the resort.
We need to show off out of here. I don't care what else is happening. We need to leave. Now.
Bob, untie the ropes.
Done.
What about the people?
I don't care. The rope is cast off and I'm shoving off. Okay, so my foot pushes off the dock and we push the boat off.
Don't think about them, cat dear. Think about Andy.
There are other boats.
Andy.
If they,
We're sailing to Andy.
But they don't even know I
if
exist
they make it to the
anymore. I
docks,
haven't
they
written
might
it.
get
As you guys are pushing off.
that we tie that lamp down so they can't just knock it into the water.
Okay, so you tie the lamp down, and Lacey, you are going to try and sail this boat away. Now let me ask you, you said you have experience on a boat. Is this a motored boat, or is this a sailboat?
A sailboat.
Okay. So it's a sailboat. It has some small motor on it to get it out to sea, obviously. Go ahead and give me a roll to see if you are able to get out of the main docking area.
I had a 6 and 2 1s.
I have 1 6. Let me have the 2 1. And, yeah, you have narrative control for what happens.
Ooh.
Okay, so the shapes begin to form on the dock surrounding the light. Can't make out the finer details, but they look somewhat insectile in nature. You can hear the awful noise that they're making as the boat begins to pull away from the dock. I don't know if they can swim or not, but the sound still seems so close. We've got the sails raised, and we're beginning to pull away. I don't know this beach very well, but I can see the light that we've left behind. All we can do now is pray. Pray that we make it away from here.
You raise the mainsail and begin to make your way more towards the north. You pull away from the docks and you turn the rudder, and the boat turns towards the north using your light that you left behind on the dock as a guidepost.
Is there a radio on this boat?
Yes, there is.
Turn it on. See if we can hear them better now.
I think that sounds like something with an unsure outcome.
It's too soon. I don't want to do it.
Nope.
Nope, you have 4 dice. Not good. I believe this is the
Oh, you'll be
appropriate-
fine. We're going to make her.
I got a 6.
No, let me
And a
see.
1.
Hang on. I got 0 6s. So you turn the mic on.
I hear them clear. They're coming in. It's definitely the Coast Guard. I can hear them. They're calling for any survivors. I know it.
Okay, so it comes across the radio.
Yes!
This is Coast Guard Cutter 225 to anyone out there with Mayday calls. We are going to be docking temporarily and loading anyone up from the northern island.
We're going to make it.
Anyone who wants to be evacuated, 30 minutes to get there, and then we will be leaving. If anyone is on the island and has a way to signal us to know, to be able to see, to avoid, or the shoreline, to avoid running aground and on any reefs, please signal.
How are we going to signal? Is there a
This-
flare gun on this thing?
This
have a
message
radio.
replays.
Can we respond?
Wait a minute.
Replays.
It replays?
Does it just play or can we respond?
You can respond.
We're survivors. We're heading inbound.
That's not what you say. Mayday, mayday. We have 4 souls on board. Sorry, 5. 5 souls on board this ship. We are heading out from the northern island. We've left a beacon on the dock, but the dock is overrun. Repeat. Mayday, mayday. This is an unidentified craft sailing north. We have 5 souls on board.
They say, this is Coast Guard cutter. We read you loud and clear. We see your
make it.
beacon on the other island. Unfortunately, it is of no help to us
What?
to be able to navigate into the northern island, as it's on the, it's not on the correct, you left it behind. If you are familiar with these waters, you should sail to the northern island and find a way to signal us to know where to come in at. We will stage off the coast
Wait, these things
and
have flare
await
guns.
signaling.
These sailboats have flare guns, right? These 12-gauge flare guns, right?
Repeat, Coast Guard vessel. Will you leave light beacons on the shore of the northern island?
They're adverse to light.
No, they're asking you to leave because you know these waters.
We already did.
No, you guys are going to the other island.
Right.
You left
We left beacons on
Wait,
the
there's-
island that
there's,
we're
on
on.
the southern island. You're going
Yeah.
to the northern island.
There's
I'm
lights on
asking them
boats,
if they
right?
left beacons on the other island.
No.
Isn't that where they
Wait,
told us
we
to
have
go and
lights
that they
on this
would
boat.
light the beach? That's what they just said.
No, they said that they saw your beacon
Right.
and they are headed to the northern island to do an evacuation from there.
Do they have lights?
You don't see any lights.
Ellen, tell them that they're averse to light. Tell them, even if we don't make it there, they have to know.
No, but we have lights on this boat. There's got to be navigation lights, right? There's got to be like port and starboard lights.
There's
whatever
a
the hell those
small
things are.
red and green light on the front of the boat.
It should be, yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe a white light depending on the size of the ship.
It's on the top of the mast. Does that make sense the way I'm describing that now with the difference between the two islands?
Yes.
Okay. You guys are sailing, and I mentioned that it had begun to rain. And Bob, some time ago, said that it had begun to get cold, which to me means that there is a storm coming in, being that we are at the sea. So as you come in, I think that I need you to roll to keep the ship as you are sailing. And there is a section where the water depth is getting too shallow for the boat as you're going across the top of a reef.
Oh, that couldn't possibly be.
Out of 6.
I also see a 1 there as well.
Well, at least
All right.
6.
That one must be an optical illusion.
I got 2 6s.
What?
So-
Shenanigans.
I will have narrative control in this part. So
No.
you are sailing the boat, and things seem to be going reasonably well, and things are finally seeming to go your way.
Yay,
As-
we win.
You feel the boat.
Oh, dear.
You hear this terrible scratching sound.
knew it.
And it's
thought it was
still
gonna be
so
happy.
dark because you only have the one white light that at top of the mast, and
Wait.
then the navigation lights at the front of the boat. So you hear this scratching sound going across the bottom of the hull, and it's terrible.
Miss Chitter.
And it's what makes it even worse is that as the ship runs across this section of reef, you hear this scratching, but it actually shakes the boat a little bit, and you feel that vibration through the soles of your feet as it shakes the boat.
It's not good.
It still seems to be moving forward, but you're not entirely sure how much damage the boat has taken.
This is a reef, right?
Of sorts, yes.
A reef is home to all kinds of animal life, right? Mm-hmm. Fishes and whatnot. Do we see any of them?
It is too dark to be able to see in the water.
Okay.
Like there's nothing on the surface. There's no fins sticking out of the water, if that's what you mean. But it's dark. There's no light source, even moon or stars.
Have we made it to the glow-in-the-dark algae yet?
No.
Okay.
Are there lifeboats on this vessel?
There is a small dinghy, yes, an inflatable dinghy.
Do I think I can navigate this boat any further, or are we done?
You would have to go down and have a look at how much damage has been done to the ship. Or someone would have to go down, I'm sorry.
I'll go down and have a look.
Very good.
I'll go with her.
Oh, a feeling I'm disabled by fear.
1 6 and 1 1.
Oh my goodness. Look at that.
The good and the bad.
I got 2 6s. Here's what I think happens, because I'm a terrible man.
We knew that.
As the ship has run across this, and you still have the sails up, the ship is still moving forward, and the ship continues to shudder, and that scratching sound, and you feel it through the bottom of your feet, and you go down below into the cabin to take a look and see if you can assess any damage, if there's water coming on the ship. And while you're down there, the ship hits something harder, and the ship lurches, and unfortunately at the same time with the storm making the waves a little bit worse, a wave crashes across the ship. And did anyone go down below to help her look, or
I did.
You did?
Oh, dear.
So I think Nicholas is going to be thrown into the water. Isn't that his name?
Who's Nicholas?
I'm gonna go in and
My
get him.
grandson.
Oh,
Grandson.
no.
Because I'm above deck, and so is Nick, right?
Correct. So you two will see that Nicholas is thrown
I'm
overboard.
gonna go in and get him.
Okay, so without hesitation,
I'm going to grab her.
Carrie. All right, well,
'Cause it could be my baby.
It's too late. No, she makes the noise. I'm going to grab her.
right. I think she initiates the action, though, so I think that she rolls the dice.
Hope die.
Does that seem... Is that okay, or are you guys okay with that? Since she initiated the action, she
Do
would...
you go instead?
No, I'm going to try and grab you and keep you from going.
Okay, so since she is the one initiating an action as opposed to trying to prevent one, I'm going to say that she is the one that rolls the die to see who has control.
That's a 6 and a 1, and I'm so fucking scared that I'm gonna re-roll that one. And fear. I'm sorry for all those listening.
It's okay. I think that is 100% fair to re-roll. Go ahead and burn your fear. You're going to go ahead and re-roll that one.
Next card, death.
That's not a 1.
Okay, now let me roll mine to see if I have more 6s.
Good luck in there.
I have 1 6, so you have narrative control, Kat.
I jump in, and it is surprisingly shallow here. The reef is gorgeous. I can feel it crunching beneath my feet, and I feel guilty, but I know I need to save Nicholas. He's fine. I grab him and push him on board. Bob is freaking out, trying to grab me, and he grabs Nicholas instead of
I'm throwing her a freaking line.
And I climb in right behind Nicholas, and then my only thought is, please let Ellen make it up here to see this baby boy. He's freaking out, and I hold him, and I tell him that his grandmother is coming.
So, Ellen, you hear a huge commotion on the deck of the ship as it lurches forward, and you hear a scream and a cry out, and you hear the sound of a large splash in the water, followed by another splash in the water.
I will suppress my momentary panic because without this boat, nothing else matters. Are we still okay?
Did you roll to assess the damage below?
Mm-hmm.
I think she got a single 6, did you?
Oh, yeah, but I got narrative control and threw him overboard.
That's where you wasted it. Ha! The ship
We
is
still don't know what's
Ha! We win. We live another time.
So I think, do you think it's fair to say that you should roll again, or should I just let you say?
I don't think I should roll again because you didn't answer my question the first
That's
time.
why I'm asking. So
I think it's good. I think it's golden.
okay, so
I'm okay whatever the answer is. I just think you should give me
I
the
think
answer.
that the boat has taken some damage. It is not like go down Titanic style damage,
Okay.
but it is questionable whether it will make it there or not.
Well, we still have a backup boat, and I think we should keep this one as long as possible.
I agree.
So I think we should try and navigate it off of the rocks as best we can from the reef.
We'll sail this bitch as far as she'll go, and then we'll take the dinghy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are reasonably certain that it will.
You have a bonus belt.
Yeah, you have the dinghy, and you're not certain whether it will make it or not. It's not going to go, down to the ground real fast, but you're uncertain.
Okay. Well, we'll take it as far as we can.
What do you guys do?
Calm this boy down so he quits screaming.
Okay.
Try and push the boat off of the reef. If
See,
there's
look,
oars, we're going
there's
to use
Grandma.
oars for that.
Grandma.
If there's not, well,
Grandma.
then
Grandma!
So you
What?
come back up onto the deck, and you see Nicholas there, soaking wet and cold and shivering.
Oh, dear. Get him a blanket.
Wrap him up in one of them there emergency blankets.
Yeah, one of those Mylar emergency blankets.
It isn't really relevant to the situation.
What is it?
I will distract
Oh,
the others.
Okay, I forgot.
They're not here right now.
Okay. I'm sorry, I thought it was something else.
No.
So you get him wrapped up in a safety or a survival blanket as best as you can. And Lee, you say you want to try and break the boat free.
For those of you
6.
at home, a 6 and a 2.
I got 2 6s.
Whoa.
Well,
When
that-
does
So-
the scene end?
When you fail. Like you said, it was shallow here, so you had to get in the water. This isn't a really big boat, so you have to get down there and you can push it some to get it freed up and off of the reef. As you're pushing the boat, it's moving, but you're fighting against the waves as they come in. And like I mentioned, the waves are getting larger because of the storm. You push on it, and you're able to free the boat. But as you free the boat, and the process, you move it a little bit, and the waves push it back, and then you move it a little more, and the waves push it back. And one of the times, just before you get it completely freed, when it pushes it back, it pushes you back up against the reef and kind of pins you between the boat and the reef for a moment. And have you ever been around coral before?
Not me personally.
It's
no.
terribly sharp and jagged. So as the boat and the wave crashes across the side of the boat and pushes the boat up against you, it pushes your leg and your calf against between the boat and the coral, and it cuts your leg open pretty significantly, and you're bleeding pretty good. And in the salt water and the jagged awfulness of this, these cuts on your legs are pretty terrible.
Great. Now we're detecting sharks.
What do you do?
Well, we get it pushed off of the reef.
Okay.
I hop back in and I rip a sleeve off and I tie it around my leg.
Okay.
Because that's about all I can do.
So you get back on the boat and you bandage yourself as best as you can, and the boat is free of the reef. What are you guys gonna do?
Show some concern, try and bandage his wound as best we can.
Inspect the dinghy. Make sure it's everything.
The dinghy is.
Actually need it.
You know what? I'm feeling exceptionally mean today. I think the dinghy's condition might be a little uncertain. This isn't your guys' boat. No one has said whether this is a well-kept boat or not. Why don't we see what the condition of the dinghy is?
It's a resort dinghy. The resort dinghies
Great
are always
shape.
great shape.
Oh, I got a 6 and a 4.
Great shape.
All right, so you have narrative control.
This dinghy is in great shape,
Amen.
Very good.
as far as I can tell
Huzzah.
in the dying light. And also, there's a turtle swimming by.
Which I suppose in this amount of light you have, because you haven't lit the chem lights yet, you air the dinghy up, and it doesn't seem to be leaking anywhere.
Can I do my hope?
What is your hope?
I will find hope in animal life.
He saw a turtle go
There's
by.
a turtle.
Okay, so how is it that this turtle swimming by gives you or returns hope to you?
Well, whatever those things are, they mean malice to humans. But there was still that doe in the forest, and now there's a turtle. Maybe they can't go underwater. Life will go on even if we don't.
Okay. Go ahead and burn. Go ahead and burn your hope
So hopeful.
That's all right.
A whopping 2 dice.
and roll the dice.
No, I failed.
So
I got a 1, too.
that realization comes across you, and you thought it began to restore hope, and then the last sentence rings home in the fact that the life will go on without you.
Yeah, probably.
And blow out a candle for me. These things are true. It is dark.
My leg hurts.
We're almost to the next island.
I'm losing hope.
I can see the light on the ship.
On what ship?
The Coast Guard ship.
Very good. And
We are
We're
all
all still alive.
Still alive.
so I think you sailed the ship across this small channel most of the way, but the waves are picking up, and it's at that point where you have to make a decision for whether or not you want to abandon the ship and get in the dinghy and try and paddle your way in. You're reasonably certain that the longer you stay on this ship as it begins to take on water, the more dangerous things become.
Yeah, I definitely think we don't want to go down on the ship and we should get on the dinghy.
Yeah.
I agree. It's time to get on the
Plus, the
dinghy.
dinghy probably has, like, some oars of some kind
It
attached.
does. It has.
Which is going to make me feel like I have more control,
It
even if it's not true.
it has 2 oars that are actually attached by a rope to the dinghy, so they can't be lost without the dinghy being lost.
I once navigated some whitewater rapids in the Colorado mountains
Well, and you've
in a
done
raft similar to
everything.
this. We can totally do this, guys.
With age.
When
We've
I
got
get
this.
old, I want to be
Of
just
course.
like
This is
you.
nothing.
What's that?
With age comes wisdom.
True story. Well, it sounds like everyone is going to load into the dinghy.
Yep.
Very good.
Perhaps it is not too late for your words to fork lightning.
So everyone loads down into the dinghy and you begin paddling. I think paddling a dinghy with 5 people in it seems a little uncertain of the outcome.
When we put Nicholas in the
Sounds
middle and the
reasonable.
4 of us go, yeah. Bob and I together on one side,
Yeah.
Ellen and Dylan together on the other side.
We
Bob
got
and I
this.
are holding hands.
We got this.
Who wants to make the roll?
I feel like Bob hasn't rolled in a while.
Roll me.
Bob, I'm holding your hand.
Come on,
Got
Bob.
this. We got
It's all
this.
up
Can
to
I roll
you
my
and your
hope
oars.
die?
You got this.
Yes.
You get to roll your hope die with it.
Sweet. Oh, shoot. Can't read
That's a
it.
lot of dice.
Oh,
Dark.
I see 1 6.
The white one only is to be a 5.
Is white 5?
Okay, I swear that black one over there was a 6. Are you sure
might
you
have
didn't
been.
bump them?
I don't even see a white one.
I see a 2, 2, 1, 2, and a 4.
I
Oh,
think you
dear.
bumped one of the
Where's the
black
white
dice.
Oh, dear.
All
I
right.
didn't see it.
So go ahead and blow out a candle for me.
I knew it.
Wait, you got a 1. You could reroll
Oh,
it.
wait. Yeah. I'm sorry. There was a 1. What is your...
Love.
Loved.
Bob.
Here it is.
Go ahead and burn your hope.
Ooh,
5?
It's not a 1.
Much for hope.
Or your virtue, I'm sorry. All right, so
What is it? You gotta say how it's relevant.
That, despite the fact that I'm loved, that it's just not gonna. I don't know. We're gonna make it. We've got to. It's just how it's gonna be. It's how it's gotta be.
these things are true. It is dark.
No, we're in the dinghy.
Okay.
I can see the coast of the Northern Island.
The algae underneath us is beginning to glow, even though the storm rages above.
We are all still alive.
You're all still alive.
So you are arriving at the shore of the coast as you are paddling your dinghy up, out of breath, soaked to the bone,
Bob, you did it.
and cold
We're gonna make it.
from the
We've gotta make it.
wind and the water. You get to where you can manage
For the storm.
to get off the dinghy and be waist deep in water.
We're gonna take the dinghy on shore and tie it to a tree.
Okay.
We've gotta
Where do we go
rest.
from here?
We've gotta rest.
What's next? We made it to the island. Now what do we
need to
do?
rest.
We gotta
Still
find a way to
30
signal the
minutes.
Coast Guard. We are not resting now.
Crack some chem lights. We've gotta rest. I'm so tired.
We
30
are
minutes,
not
Bob.
resting.
30 minutes.
Bob.
We make it on that boat. We can do whatever you want.
What else is here?
As you look around, you see that this, the reason the Coast Guard are coming to this island, this is the bigger island, and there's more populated. With the little bit of light that shines up onto the beach from the bioluminescent algae, you're able to see that things were bad on this island when the world went dark. And you're standing on the beach and you can see there's a beach public access area a little further ways inland from where you guys stand. And there are cars that are wrecked against one another there. You see shattered windshields and bullet holes in the doors and in the windshields of the cars.
Oh, it's over
And-
now. We're fine.
Things very clearly were very violent here.
Where would the deepest water be in relation to the island?
You mean for the Coast Guard ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know that there is a deeper cove where larger boats are able to come in without running aground and having problems. And you know vaguely the direction that it would be, but once you get away from this little section of beach where this algae is, you know it will be dark again.
We should crack the chem lights.
No.
Yep, let's crack the
Do it.
chem lights and be on our way.
We need them.
And grab the flare gun.
I think there's
We're
a
gonna
car
need
in
it.
the parking lot.
There are several cars in the parking lot.
I wonder if someone has a flashlight in there.
We could take one of them.
Do they work? The cars
There's bound to
still
be
work?
I
Why would they not work?
I don't
Self-contained
know.
battery,
I mean,
gas.
island's
What
been
if
out of
there's
power for
bodies
2
in
weeks.
You must steel yourself against that. We have to move on.
We could try. It could save us precious minutes.
All right. I'll try and find a car that works.
Right on. I need someone to roll it up, whoever is going to.
Bob's going to do it.
I feel lucky.
You have 4 dice plus your hope die?
I can't tell. It's too dark. 4, yes.
Plus your hope.
I have 2 6s.
Can you see anything? It's too
I'm
dark.
pretty sure I see at least 1 6. Pretty sure I also saw 1. Or the white one.
There
only
is
has
a
to be.
6 and 2 1s.
Yes. What? No.
What's the white one?
So, give me
The white one is a 3.
the 2 1s. Now, are you down to your brink?
Yes.
The way the brink works is it will allow you to re-roll all the dice if you are able to bring your brink into the situation in some way. However, you can continue to reuse your brink as much as you want. However, when it is gone, or when you fail a roll with using the brink to re-roll, your character is sort of broken.
All right. No, I'm not gonna. It's we're not at that point yet.
Right. Very good. You got how many? 1?
1.
Okay, so I got 2. You head up there. You find, takes you a little while. A couple different cars you have to find the keys to. And you find the keys are in the ignition of one. And it starts up and it runs, reasonably well. And it's got a little less than a quarter tank of fuel.
Take it as far as it'll lead us.
You see it has several bullet holes in it and several broken windows. It's a 4-door sedan.
Do the lights come on?
Yes, the headlights come on.
Woo.
I'm turning
We
on the
got
inside.
light.
Light.
We got a barrier between
even
us and
see.
them. We got something that's going to move under its own power. Things are looking up.
The lights shine out across the ocean because it's parked facing towards the ocean at that public beach access. And the moment they come on, there was that little bit of light that came from the bioluminescent algae. And while it lit up the immediate water and sort of right around where you were, it doesn't really shine up very high. But as these headlights cut through the darkness, it immediately seems like it pushes this darkness up and away as the light cuts through, and you see again that little bit of blackness reflected in that sort of wet, almost carapace looking style thing as it comes on, and they again begin to chitter and make noise as the light
Chittering.
I have an idea.
seems to drive them away.
We should turn on as many of these cars as we can before we go.
Let's just go.
No! The people on the National Guard radio said that as many lights as we could to keep them away from the reef. If we can keep the things away from them, we'll do better. Nicholas will do better.
If what? If the bats are following us instead of by the cars that might otherwise have been dark.
Okay, I'll try and turn on a few car lights to distract.
We'll just
Very good.
keep them out of the reef.
I got 1 6.
You got any ones?
Nope.
I have 2 6s.
Can I use my thing?
What is it?
I will find hope when I distract the others while my grandson runs to the northern island. So we're all trying to escape farther onto this northern island, and I am trying to distract the others.
Okay. I think that seems reasonable. So you're going to burn that, and then you're going
I
to...
don't actually have a problem.
No, you don't. You
That's right,
roll
okay.
separately for your moment. So don't burn it yet. Hang on. So we're going to have your little... You have narrative control as you start all these cars up, right? And you get to describe what happens.
I'm helping her start those cars.
Okay.
Is my idea.
Okay.
Although, hang on. I think
but you have...
I won narrative control, so as you go around checking to start these cars, we were able to start a few of them, and they fire up without too much trouble. However, as you're going from car to do this, Nicholas is not inside the car. You're the car that you're planning to take to leave. And he's standing there, and as you're starting these vehicles, you're kind of moving from car to car away from him. And at that point, you are driving them away from the light, but they seem to want to crowd around the light like they're trying to get to you, but the light is pushing them away. And while you do this, and you turn more lights on away from you, and you hear the sound of Nicholas cry out as there is something that grabs or tries to grab a hold of his leg, and as it grabs him, it sort of, you hear him cry out because it's like these sharp insectoid crab-like legs or whatever, grab and cut into his leg as he cries out. The scent of the blood and the excitement of it all, and his cries seem to excite them.
Okay, so I see this, and I get into the other vehicle, and I turn the brights on and the flashers on, and I begin to honk the horn, distracting them from Nicholas so that he can get back to the car with everyone else.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I have turned the ire of all the creatures onto myself inside this one vehicle.
Very good. Go ahead and light that, and then go ahead and roll to see if that restores hope to you.
I roll these two.
Mm-hmm.
It does not. I get one.
All right. Let me see that one there. Go ahead and blow out a candle for me. These things are true. It is dark.
I am alone.
Desperate.
But we are all still alive.
I'm still alive.
I think that as you are alone, turning the brights on and the flashers on, Nicholas's cries echo in the darkness as he is drug away. You still hear that chittering and screaming, and the chittering gets more and more frantic. Then suddenly, it just all dies away, and it is eerily silent.
No! Nicholas. I know what I have to do.
What do you have to do?
I have to drive away and distract them from the rest of you. And that's what I will do.
Okay.
Making as much noise and light as possible.
You slam this car into gear and mash the gas pedal down. You have 3 dice. And speed away, trying to distract them. Go ahead and roll for me. Go ahead and blow out another one. These things are true. It is dark.
They are all around us.
But we are all still alive.
We are all still
still
alive.
Still alive.
Like I said, you slam the car in gear and speed away. The lights, the brights cut through the darkness as you begin speeding down the road, driving them away from the front of the car as you speed down the road. Unfortunately, you realize as you drive them away, you see Nicholas standing in the road moaning in pain as he has had all the skin and bits and pieces of flesh of him pulled away from his body. As he stands there facing you, you just, without a moment, are unsure of whether or not you will be able to plow through him or stop. Do you want to stop or
No.
no?
No.
Woman.
You run him over with the front end of a large Cadillac Eldorado. There's a sickening, meaty thump, and he goes under the car, and you do not hear the cries anymore.
All right, turn off the headlights. Follow her now. Go.
No.
Yes! Drive, Dylan, drive!
I will drive,
Don't
but
do
not
it.
towards
She's
her.
clearing the path.
No, she's drawing them away.
Drive!
If she can make it to
Oh
the
God,
to
just
the
go. All right.
to the rendezvous point, she will. But we're going without her. We're gonna go to where the water's deepest.
Very good.
I got 1 success, a 6 and a 3.
Oh my goodness. All right, let me see what I got. I only got 1 6. So you have narrative control. So as you speed away towards the deeper port area, what happens?
She was very successful in drawing them away. We still see them, but not in great packs. Just a few here and there. Though they're certainly going to follow us after we startle them. We weave through traffic like we're speed demons, except the other cars aren't moving at all. And we pass by all the empty buildings. We don't see anyone, but we do make it to the port on the other side.
Very good. So you make it to the port, and you see, once you arrive here without Alice or Nicholas, that there are bodies here. But these bodies aren't here because they were killed by violence of men. They are the chewed and half-eaten remains of people that were taken and eaten by them. You stand at the flood wall, or tidal wall, for where the waves come in to crash against when it's high tide, and you have the headlights of your car shining out towards the ocean. What do you do?
That's the best light I can give the Coast Guard ship to sail in by, right?
I think that's reasonable.
All right, we're going to get out of the car and fire the flare.
There's so many of them everywhere. All over my car, in front of me, to the side of me, behind me. I don't know what else I can do, but maybe I can make it so the rest of these people can get off the island.
Okay.
I know maybe if I can stuff something into the side of the gas tank and ignite it, maybe I can make a big enough of a blaze that the creatures will come here and they will leave the dock.
Very good. So you're going to stop and try and
I'm going to try and blow my car.
blow the car up. Very good.
Do it at a gas station.
I cannot see.
It's so bad because the light repeals them and attracts them.
I got no 6s.
I get a 1 and a 3, but I've got hope.
Oh,
Hope is a
very
powerful
good.
thing.
If I can make this
Hopefully.
work, maybe Kat and Dylan and Bob can get off this island, and maybe everything will be okay.
Bob, you're coming
I
with
have
me.
to believe that that's true.
Not gonna make
Giggity,
it.
giggity.
Not gonna make it.
I can't burn my card.
The flame is low.
I have
don't
hope.
put out the flame.
That Ellen will successfully sacrifice.
Go ahead and re-roll your 1.
It is a 3.
Oh, it's easy to read now with it. Go ahead and blow out a candle.
No.
As you try to blow up your car.
No.
These things are true. It is dark.
We are
We are all
We're all
still
still
alive.
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 There is an important distinction to make at this phase of the game, is that whenever you go to roll to accomplish something, if you roll a 1, we do not extinguish the candle, your character will die, and you will be able to narrate your character's death. Ellen, you have driven your car now and stopped it and got out with the brights on and the flashers going, and you managed to light a piece of cloth and shove it into the gas tank to try and bring as much attention and hopefully make a large distraction so the rest of everyone can get away. What are you doing?
So lighting the thing didn't work?
I don't know. It's up to us to decide because it's not that you failed. It's just the scene ends. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. So I'm okay with deciding where we go from here because we are right at the very end of the game. So we can the idea is that we're going to draw this to a conclusion and to a climax for each of the characters as they each have their own death scene.
What do you guys think?
I think that you guys should be aware that candle is going to go out very soon.
It fizzles because that's how this sort of stuff ends.
Okay, so it fizzles and it starts to dwindle, and I no longer believe that this is going to work, but I have to do whatever I can to keep them alive, so I make a sort of torch out of what's left of my shirt and something that I found in the car, and I light it from the cloth on the gas spigot, and I take off running down the road with this light.
Are you trying to distract them?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll for me.
I got a 6.
I got 1 6. So you have narrative control.
I run, and I'm not very good at it. I'm a portly old woman, but I am giving it all that I have left. My grandson is gone. There's nothing that I have left in this world other than to see the 3 of you safe on a boat and off this island. So I am running down the road with all that I have left in this world.
Very good. You guys are standing at the flood wall, looking out, bright shining. You think you might be able to see something reflecting off of the water in the distance that might be the hull of a Coast Guard ship. What do?
I'm going to say, but it's not. I'm going to break down at this moment, and I'm going to see the little creatures all overwhelming because my end is crying while everyone is fighting. And I'm just going to take this moment to lose it and sink to my knees and be consumed by whatever those things are.
So Bob seems to be overcome with the situation in the moment.
Seems to be. Dang, I'm done,
and,
man.
And
this is
completely
it.
breaks and loses it.
Screaming, why, God, why?
He's
the
weak.
whole time.
They'll eat him. We need to go. I know what you have.
Jumping into the water.
Yeah, it won't help you.
So you're going to jump into the water?
Go, 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 go.
I'm swimming for that boat.
We're gonna live.
They can eat him. I'm going.
Let me have the die.
Oh.
No, that
Take
one.
it.
I'm sorry, Bob.
Oh, it's all over.
Roll the dice.
It's over for Bob.
My hand. Maybe. Oh, that's a 1. I am resilient. I'm a powerful swimmer.
It's a good thing you rolled a 1 on that one. Huh?
Well, maybe.
So is this where they eat Bob here?
Oh, God, yeah.
So what does that... tell me about how that goes when they eat him.
That is a 6.
Do I throw this in?
No, you don't have to. That's your brink. You get to reroll. Use it to reroll dice. But if you want Bob to die here and be broken because of what his brink is,
Bob is done.
I think it makes sense. So what does it look like when they come down and eat Bob?
It's horrific. It's a flesh-rending sort of... Just use your imagination.
So you jump in the water and begin swimming
screaming
out to the Coast Guard.
You can hear the sound of
to the
Bob's screams echoing
behind
off.
you.
Crunching. There should be a crunching, too.
You hear the sound of
gnashing
bones
of teeth.
breaking
I don't care.
as they take him apart piece by piece.
Oh, God, no.
Secretly, or not so secretly, I suppose, you hope that his inadvertent sacrifice hopefully wasn't in vain. So you swim out there, or begin swimming. Kat, what are you doing?
Swimming.
Oh, you're going to swim as well?
Swimming. Wait, I wanted to climb over the wall to the shore where the boat was going to dock. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can go wherever you want.
Fuck that guy in the water. I'm going over the wall.
All right, so you climb over the wall. Do you think that seems like an uncertain thing, climbing over the wall, or no?
No, I know it's certain because there's a ladder.
You're crazy. Everything is uncertain right now.
I agree. I think that everything is uncertain. So go ahead and roll
I know a couple
for
things
me.
are certain.
And we'll see if there is a ladder there or not.
It's a fucking one. It's a little itty bitty one.
Very good.
You're not going to make it.
So you climb over the wall, and you find a ladder, actually. And, do you have a brink?
Brink.
What is your brink?
I give into what I really want.
Whatever they want?
No, whatever I really want.
So what do you really want?
No, I don't want a peaceful death.
Yeah, you
So you
I'm like 23. I want a friggin' adventure.
It's not
Okay.
going to happen.
So you can activate your brink and you can re-roll your entire dice pool.
The whole thing.
Not going to save you.
It's a 3.
Go ahead and burn your brink because you did not succeed.
You're done.
So you managed to find a ladder,
Like what I really wanted.
and you climb across the ladder. It's one of those ladders that has the big 2 metal hoops that go up high and then down. And as you start to climb down, what does it look like
It's the apocalypse.
when they come for you?
Oh my gosh, I get to the top of the wall and I can see that they're all over the beach, like they're waiting, maws open, waiting to eat me. And so there's no one left around me to comfort me. And so I jump in and I wish that my family has a better life than I did.
As she falls towards the water, you see that they grab a hold of her and they take her apart
Oh my god!
piece by piece.
You're on fire.
And she never actually hits the water.
Wow.
They take her one limit of time,
Swim,
then her
Dylan,
legs,
swim.
the head, and her torso, and pull it away and devour her, fighting over the pieces as you are having waves crash down upon you. Dylan, what do you do?
I'm swimming. We covered that. I got a 6.
Very good. So you swim out to the boat. You climb aboard the boat, the Coast Guard ship.
Oh, yeah.
As you get closer, you realize they don't hail you.
That's fine.
You climb aboard and you see that there are the bodies of several Coast Guard sailors in various stages of being eaten laying around. You also see that there is lots of spent brass all across the deck, still hot and steaming actually in the cool air. What do you do?
I'm going to jump back into the water on the other side of the boat.
Okay.
I'm going to outswim it.
Desperate action by a desperate man.
So that sounds like an uncertain outcome as you move to the other side of the boat to jump into the water.
You're not going to make it.
That's a 2.
Would you like to use your brink? What is it?
I have been seen hoarding many things that belong to the resort.
Maybe a boat.
And
There's a boat.
A boat. I have
Maybe a submarine.
I have a snorkel.
A snorkel?
A snorkel.
Of all
Fair
the things
enough.
in the world,
I don't
a snorkel?
even have to resurface.
Okay.
If they can't swim, they're not gonna fucking eat me. I'm gonna outswim them.
Go ahead and re-roll it for me.
Don't think that's going to work in the long run.
I saw him hoarding those things. I'm dead. Doesn't matter.
I have no idea where the die even added. That is a 4.
Very good. So you move to the other side of the boat. Do you make it into the water?
With Snorkel and Mal?
Yeah, I make it into the water and then I get eaten by a shark.
A
hammerhead and not a lemon shark.
A shark?
Yeah.
It's the end of the world with giant tittering bugs and you get eaten by a shark?
So I think
of a
that
thing.
you land in the water and a shark is circling around you. And it takes
on some of that good grub.
It takes a bite because it is hungry and scared. However, your screams as it takes a bite out of your flesh attract the attention of so many of them that the ones that were crawling around the deck that were in the shadows that you could not see on the ship crawl down the side of the ship of the Coast Guard cutter and they come into the water to you and they grab you. And for a moment, there's a small struggle with the shark, but somehow almost the shark knowing at a primordial level that these are superior predators than him, he lets you go
Is Ellen still alive?
and pull you away and eat you, tearing you limb from limb, similar to what happened to Kat. Back at the attempted distraction that didn't go so well,
At least
what are you doing?
I continue to run down the street back towards where Nicholas's body lays.
As you're running on the wind, you hear in the distance several screams carried on the wind from the port, cries of terror, pain, and then the cold silence of death. As you run down the road, you're looking for Nicholas's body.
Yeah.
You find him at the end of a long red skid mark from where he was hit and drugged by your car. And he lays there, broken, rended, and breathless. What do you do?
I will lay down and curl up next to his body, knowing at least he wasn't eaten alive. I managed to end his suffering, and I will freeze, and I will just stop.
I don't know that there's a need to roll it at that point, I think.
I get a 1.
Very good. So you lay there, clutching the remains, the broken, tattered remains of your grandson, as they slowly creep towards you, unsure of what's happening because this is not how these soft creatures normally act. And they eat you, tearing the flesh from your bones as they slowly... Yes, please blow out the last candle. These things are true. It is dark.
I don't know what's out there, but it's getting closer. I think Nicholas probably made it. I distracted them, and he made a run for it. Now we're going to try and move, too. I'm so scared right now. I don't know what else to say. I guess I've had a good run. It's getting towards the end. Okay, it's time.
This can't be all there is. We're going to make it. We just have to get someplace where we can find help, and that's what we're going to need. So if you get this, then just stay put, and hopefully we'll be there within a day.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. I'm sorry I ever dropped out. I promise I'm gonna come back, and I have money set aside now, and I'll pay you back. And I didn't mean to do those things, and I love you, and I'm coming back. I made the decision. I'll be there and tell Andy that I love her and that I'm so happy she's had a baby, and I will hold him, okay? Love you guys. Bye.
Old women burn and rave at close of day. Wise women, though they know that their end is dark and right. Good men, the last men by, crying how bright their failed deeds might have been, burn and rave at close of day. Rage is the dying of the light.
And that is 10 candles. Thanks for listening. This has been an episode of Just One More Fix. Music has been provided by Kevin MacLeod. You can find him at incompetech.com. You can support us at patreon.com/justonemorefix or follow us on Twitter at JustOneMoreFix.